メジャー翻訳速報。ドジャースタジアムに響き渡る興奮の歓声。今夜伝説となる一戦が幕を開けました。レギュラーシーズン最高勝率を誇る両雄ドジャースとヤンキースの激突。大谷翔平とアーロン・ジャッジ、2人のスーパースターが運命の対決を迎えます。そして10回裏、劇的な幕切れ、フリーマンのサヨナラ満塁ホームランでドジャースが歴史的な勝利をつかみ取りました。この歴史的な瞬間を MLB のレジェンドたちが解説していますので、日本語翻訳でお届けいたします。面白いと思っていただけましたらチャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。皆様のご感想やご意見などもぜひコメント欄までお待ちしております。
That's only game one. It's going to be tough to top. I got to be honest. Derek Jeter is here. David Ortiz is here. Alex Rodriguez. And I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And, you know, wow, we have Dave Roberts on. He still was incredulous at what we just saw. That's pretty good, Alex. I mean, there's so many things to talk about this game, but let's just talk about Freddie. All that he's gone through this year, hobbling all playoffs with a bad ankle injury, and then he does that. First ever career, first ever walk-off Grand Slam and World Series ever.
It is truly what makes baseball the greatest game in the world, and to have it in October with this type of, like Reggie Jackson said, the magnitude of October, right? And you have the two best teams. You can't help but think of Kirk Gibson with his leg problems, home run walk-off game one against Oakland. You had the same feeling. There's still, the people do not want to go home, and I can't wait for tomorrow.
It's like we always say, guys, the game will always find you. I mean, look at what Freddie Freeman went through in the NL National League Division, yeah. And look at what happened in the first game of the World Series. I mean, his situation, his playing time was critical in the last series, and now all of a sudden, look at what shows up. I mean, this guy's an MVP caliber player. He was an MVP years before. And when you had 3 MVP lined up, guy, and you get away with, I mean, come on. This guy's amazing.
Yeah, it just goes back to a few days ago when we were having the awkward conversation about Freddie Freeman, whether he should be playing or not, and how much he helps a lineup just being out on the field. I mean, look, who would have thought this? If you went into this game saying that Freddie Freeman was going to hit a triple and a walk-off grand slam in the 10th inning, I don't think anyone would believe you. So to all the baseball fans out there, just buckle up, because this is going to be a great series, man. This one game I don't even know where to start. We can take 3 hours to go through this game.
I tell you what, like, what's great about baseball is really chess, and there's subplots, and every move has a reaction and has a ripple effect to that. Poppy, you've had a tremendous October. We're sitting in the tunnel and we're watching the game, and Freddie's about to come up, and you say to me, you know what, Freddie is a tougher out right here than Ohtani. And then you said to me, I'd rather face Cortez than Hill. My question is, Hill's been one of the hottest pitchers in baseball. 7 innings, 7 appearances, only 1 run, and you go with Cortez, who hasn't pitched in 5 weeks. It begs to question, why not Hill in that situation? And Big Papa, you said Hill's much tougher there.
I would say when you hit the panic bottom, and I know it's too early, but when you have an uncomfortable left-hander pitcher like Hill, you definitely want to go with him just to give the batters, especially left-handed batters, a different angle. I don't know what was the situation, why they went with Cortez. Cortez wasn't even warming up when we look at the bullpen. Right. You know, and all of a sudden he come in. But when you talk about professional hitter, when you're talking about a batter, we have really good back control. You talk about Freddie Freeman, and Freddie Freeman is very dangerous in those situations.
Yeah, interesting choice certainly by Aaron Boone. Hill was ready. He's been great in the playoffs, as Alex said. They bring in Cortez, who hasn't pitched in 5 weeks and has a torn UCL, and he got torched, obviously. It didn't work. Mookie Betts had a couple really big, subtle plays in this game, including the sac fly that tied it in the 8th inning. He's standing by with Tom Verducci.
Thanks. Mookie Betts, you were just part of an instant classic. What do you think this game told the baseball world tonight about the Los Angeles Dodgers?
We're fighters. You got to play 27 outs to beat it, sometimes more. But really, I think it shows how united we are. I mean, I love these boys, and I'm glad that we got to go through a battle like that. And really, I love loving on these guys, man. I love being here, and I'm just happy that I got to be a part of like you said, an instant classic.
Somebody's always got your back on this team. In this case, you were intentionally walked. Tell me what you thought about having Freddie behind you, and then what you saw.
I mean, you know, Freddie's won MVP and he's won batting titles and he's won all that. So, I mean, at that point, you kind of pick your poison, and I definitely understand. But, you know, hitting behind Freddie or hitting in front of Freddie these last couple of years, I know he does damage, and he did tonight.
Congratulations. What a game.
Yes,
We'll
sir,
see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Back to you, KB.
All right, Tom, Mookie, appreciate it. Of course, we saw Mookie right after the game. He was jumping around, flying, just so excited. Let's go back to that 8th inning, though, for a moment. There's a lot. You guys, Derek, you said we could talk about this for 3 hours. But in that 8th inning, remember, it's still 2-1 Yankees, right? And Ohtani comes up and rips an absolute missile off the wall, and then Mookie gets him in with a sac fly. You know, it's getting through that gauntlet like Mookie was just talking about. It's so difficult when you got Ohtani and Betts and Freeman. What do you do?
Yeah, it's pick your poison for the most part. I mean, look, Ohtani's been swinging the bat well. Mookie's been swinging the bat well. Freddie's been swinging the bat well. You can't walk all of them. That's why we talk about who's hitting behind you is extremely important, and that determines the pitches that you're going to get to hit. And if you got 3 guys like that, it's tough, man. It really is tough. But you got to give it to the Yankees, though. Up until late, they pitched tremendously, right?
No doubt.
You know, over time, I think these guys just wear you down.
But it's like you say, D, you got to pick a poison, because when you are facing a guy like Ohtani, you don't want to walk him either. You want to try to get him out like they did in his last at bat. I mean, look at this guy right here. This guy is aggressive as he comes, and this guy, when he go to the plate, I mean, this is what you expect from him, to swing the bat. He don't care if he pop up, all of a sudden he hit a ball off the wall. I mean, this guy is not going to the plate thinking about anything. He's just aggressive as he can be.
It was interesting, though. So, Alex, you talked about the decision to bring on Nestor Cortez against Tim Hill, who's been great. And, Poppy, you talked about the angle. It was a little weird of a choice. But Ohtani and Freeman, the 2 guys that faced him, both swung at the first pitch. Did they just think they were getting a cookie because the guys have pitched in a month and a half?
Yeah, and the guy that comes second, which is Freddie, has a bit of an advantage because he gets to look. He has the luxury to look at the speed, the movement, and a nice timing. The one pitch worked. The second one still hasn't landed.
I tell you what, Kevin, going back to what you just asked about, those back-to-back fastball, a veteran role play a big role right there coming by Freddie Freeman. Pitchers, normally when they get one out with the first pitch, they try to throw a strike next pitch. And that's when Freddie Freeman, veteran leadership and experience, was ready for that pitch, for that secondary pitch, which is going to be for a strike.
Yeah, and just like you say, and Freddie's he's a veteran. He's been there before, and he understands that with the bases loaded, the pitcher's going to try to get ahead of him. You do not want to fall behind. So he jumped all over his first pitch.
Look, we've been talking about the theme all October, KB, where experience matters. That was a seasoned veteran at bat by Freddie Freeman. But look, the real, when the Yankees look back and they drive back in the bus, it's really going to be a story of the Yankees had plenty of opportunities. They left 11 men on base versus the Dodgers 4.
Well, I think people are going to be talking about Aaron Judge. I mean, that's just a reality, right? Aaron did not have his best game tonight. I mean, he went, 1 for 5, 3 strikeouts. In the 9th inning, had an opportunity there against Trinan and did not look good in that at-bat and popped up to shortstop. And the reality is, if they would have won, everyone overlooks it. But that's a big spot in the 9th inning and give them a chance to potentially win the game.
Well, I think the takeaway, Kevin, you're dead on here, where is not the 3 strikeouts is not the headline. The headline is manager Dave Roberts deciding to walk Soto to pitch to the MVP Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And that stuff starts building like a mountain. And this is what's great about baseball. We're going to see how he reacts tomorrow. We're going to show you a little video here. I want you to focus on his front hip. And the first one here is the home run. Fastball away, boom, home run. Stays nice and locked. Watch this thing bail so quickly. Poppy, we were talking about this, and it's just moving quickly out of the way. And the reason why you do that is you think your hands are too slow, and he's caught a little bit in between, which means early on the breaking ball and late on the fastball.
Absolutely. We were having a conversation. Excuse me. We were having a conversation about, but one thing that let's not forget, those days off, Kevin, they mess around with your timing. You know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of batters tonight not driving the pitch that they normally drive. Yeah. And it was because they were a little off. And I tell you, the big man right there, he looked like he was trying to catch it with his hands. That's why he got the leaking coming from his hip, you know. And he was trying to use his hands as quick as possible. And when you are not feeling your hands, Kevin, that's when you go into your hip, which is a mistake.
Well, yeah, look, I agree with everything you guys are saying. This is a series. It's a long series. This is just game one. There's a lot of action in this game. It seemed like we played 4 or 5 games within one. But look, in my opinion, Aaron Judge is going to produce. He's going to have his games. He's going to get his hits, right? We were talking about it, KB, back in the green room.
Yeah.
This is not a team you want to try to figure out your swing against. If you're uncomfortable, the Dodgers bullpen is just not the pitching staff you want to face. It's not some of these other pitching staffs. I mean, these guys are going to make their pitches. They're going to hit their spots. They all come with velocity. So you're trying to make these adjustments within a game. But I do believe that not only Aaron, but I do think a lot of the hitters on both sides, because there were a lot of pitches that were missed early on in the game. Those pitches are not going to be missed. They're not going to be fouled off later we get into the series.
And guys, you guys know this. 5 days for the Yankees in baseball is like 5 weeks. It takes a long time. But what Aaron Judge is doing is he's going out and chasing the ball. This ball right here, as a hitter, he's trying to catch it way out there in front of the plate. When all hitters do well, not just Aaron Judge, you got to let that ball back up and hit it right between your legs, like you're hitting a sand wedge in golf. You got to back that ball up and not leak. You got to stay square to that camera. You're square. Can't do this. You got to stay right here. And I think he'll do that. But today maybe is get a little rust out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could see the rust early in the game for both teams, but here's the bottom line. Here's what they're going to be talking about in the New York media, fair or unfair. Aaron Judge in the postseason is 6 for 36 with 16 strikeouts. You know, so and when you win, it doesn't matter, but that's what they're going to talk about, one of the many things.
I want you to take me through this right here.
All right, so Shohei had the same pitch, right? First pitch heater, pops it up to left field. Freddie's on the gas.
Ouch.
And you know, Poppy, that's like the lefty's sweet spot, right? That down in his sweet spot, and he got the head to it and kept it fair and put a good swing on it.
You having fun yet?
Not yet, Jeets. You know what? I'll tell you this, man. If you can't have fun, something like this, and I better find a different job. So, but you know what? I'm just happy for the fans. I'm happy for the players, and certainly happy for Freddie. And it's funny. It's like, I understand this is still game one, but just kind of how we backdoored those guys. We snatched them. We used our leverage guys. They used their leverage guys. So it was a huge win.
Now,
Go ahead, G.
Now, just tell me about this team. I mean, you guys are down there late. Yankees seem like they're rolling. Team never gives up. Talk to me about the resilience you guys have in the fight.
I mean, it's unbelievable, because if you look at tonight, Garrett had good stuff. He threw the baseball well. He minimized traffic, minimized damage. But we had a couple opportunities situationally that we didn't cash in on. But no one hung their heads. We kept trying to grind, take good at bats, and you know, even it's going to get lost in the box score. But Tommy Edmonds' base hit to stay flat through the middle, to get Mookie up to bat, to then ultimately, you know, get Freddie up to bat. It's big.
I'm going to go before that. 8th inning, you're down in this game. Ohtani comes up and just smashes one and gets you guys going. You guys got a lot of MVPs, right? So it's not one guy, but when your best player steps up and does that, tell me about the fuel that it gives to the rest of the dugout.
No, it does. It's big. I mean, and Shohei hit that ball hard, got second base, got to third base. But even to your point about the superstars, Mookie, infield back, hits a ball hard. Jazz makes a great play. And instead of getting disheartened, frustrated, a little tight with the bat, his next at bat, he had a situation bat again, stayed down, rode it out, drove in a run, which was huge. So all those little things, you know, make an impact.
Wow. Take a breath, Dave. Enjoy this one, baby, because that was fun. And we'll do it again tomorrow, all right?
Hey, let's do it again tomorrow. Sign me up, baby.
Dave Roberts, what a win for his Dodgers.
Hey,
There you go.
my shirt.
Hold it up, baby. Hold it up.
My shirt.
There you go, baby.
He's got the My Dog t-shirt. There you go. Dodgers epic win, 6-3, the walk-off grand slam from Freddie Freeman. We thank Dave Roberts for joining us. He's going to get a hug from Billie Jean King. This place is still electric here in Dodger Stadium. One of the greatest World Series games you'll ever see. Back and forth strategy, decisions, clutch hitting, big outs, and then the biggest hit with Freeman. As Dave, you can see, he's still just elated. You know, just trying to both here in Dodger Stadium. Gibson at 88, Freddie Freeman tonight. We welcome you back to the postgame show in an absolute epic game. And guess what? If you were out, you missed it, let's take you back and go through these highlights, because there are a lot of them. Okay, so it's game one. Dodgers-Yanks, two best teams during the regular season, two best players, and Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. A lot of drama. Sixth inning, here's a pretty good player, too. Giancarlo Stanton's sixth home run of the playoffs, a moonshot. He's an LA kid. Yankees take the lead. That was an easy one for Stanton. He knew it was gone. 2-1 there. Eighth inning, Ohtani against Tommy Kahnle, who's been great. He just rips this thing. Just missed a home run. And then Ohtani, ball coming in here. Watch this. Ball is bobbled. That allows Ohtani to get to third, Al.
KB, and after we're going to review that play, because to me that was one of the biggest plays of the game.
And then Mookie Betts, just a great professional at that. Gets bat on ball to the outfield. Tying run scores. We're tied at 2. We go to the 9th. Same score. This one is deep. Oh boy, look at that. It looked like the Derek Jeter, Jeffrey Meyer play.
That's a home run, guys. That's a home run.
1996, it sure looked the same. Torres was hoping for the home run. He didn't get the same call as a double. So guess what? No score. We go to extras. It was a Jazz Chisholm inning. He gets on. He steals second. He steals third. And then that one, Edmund couldn't get the ball out of his glove to turn the double play. Yanks take the lead. However, they bring in Cortez. 2 pitches. First one, he pops out Ohtani. Second one, hit a mile. And the Dodgers win it in walk-off style. Nestor Cortez had not pitched in 5 weeks with an elbow injury. Freddie Freeman been hobbled with an ankle injury. 6-3 in extras. LA takes game 1, and that cold shower feels pretty good. 6-3 your final. Now the big decision. Because it was the 10th inning, they had to go with Jake Cousins to start. We'll get into that in a second. But in the lefty spot, they choose Cortez over the veteran Tim Hill. And here's Aaron Boone on why.
Just taking the left-on-left matchup there. Yeah. No, I didn't deliberate long.
And Nestor had not pitched since September 18th. Why did you like him in that 10th inning?
Just like the matchup. The reality is he's been throwing the ball really well the last few weeks as he's gotten ready for this. You know, I knew with one out there it'd be tough to double up Shohei if Tim Hill gets him on the ground, and then Mookie behind him is a tough matchup there. So felt convicted with Nestor in that spot.
Was it first rodeo right, Aaron? Andy?
Nestor's history against Ohtani. Why you like the matchup?
I mean, a little bit. I don't know if you ever love a matchup against Ohtani, but you know, I felt like Nestor could give us a shot at it.
Oh, look, there's obviously no guarantee that Tim Hill comes in and gets Ohtani or Betts or Freeman, right? So we're not saying that, but it's an interesting choice in that Cortez hasn't pitched in a month and a half, and then the first time he comes in, there's guys on base and he's facing Ohtani. It's a tough spot.
It's a tough spot. And look, Boone's job is to get his guys in the best position to win. And I hear him when he says, you know, he's been pitching simulated games, he's been doing this or that. Nothing can replicate the heat and the violence and the intensity of October baseball. Hill's been nothing short of phenomenal. 3 for 13. He is your hot hand. And I'm not sure if he was hurt or not, but unless he was hurt, you got to go with your hot hand there.
Yeah, well, first, two things. One, let's give it to Nestor Cortez for a minute. I mean, he did that interview a couple days ago, and he said he's fine missing all of next year if he comes out and gets a chance to pitch in the World Series. So this is a guy that wants to be there. Now, on the other hand, no one knows their team better than Aaron Boone does. It's easy for us to sit here and say they should bring in somebody else. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20. But it is a tough situation to come into when you have not been pitching for 5 weeks. Coming into a World Series, pressure-packed situation, facing Ohtani, facing Freddie, that is tough, but you just got to give it to. That's why the manager makes the decisions. That's why they're the manager of the team.
メジャー翻訳速報。歴史に残る一戦となった今日のワールドシリーズ。本当に素晴らしい試合でしたね。大谷選手の8回の壁直撃の打球から、ベッツ選手の同点タイムリー、そしてフリーマン選手のサヨナラ満塁弾まで、まさに劇的な展開の連続でした。ドジャースの底力を見せつけた勝利に、スタジアム全体が大きな歓声に包まれました。明日の第2戦は山本由伸投手の先発ですね。明日も勝利して勢いに乗りたいところです。皆様のご感想やご意見などございましたら、ぜひコメント欄にお寄せください。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。ご視聴ありがとうございました。